This isn't a good news. This is Ann Borough cutting of access to London for people further out. It's forcing traffic into surrounding boroughs so the higher earning people of Tower Hamlets don't have the same traffic every other Londoner has to put up with. No problems have been solved. They just been moved away from this particular neighborhood and made another street less safe. Oh. You might be surprised to see comments like this online on a video that I made last week on low traffic neighborhoods and the most controversial street in London, especially because, well, a lot of the claims that are made in this comment, and many of them that we're going to be talking about today, were refuted in the very video itself with data, statistics, and also real experience. I mean, on the surface, comments like this come off quite knowledgeable. As soon as you do one tiny little bit of research, you might be surprised to find they all have the same shared reason despite having multiple masks of what they're trying to say. I would like to drive. That is it. I just want to drive through your neighborhood. I don't like that you're not allowing me to drive through your neighborhood. Every single one. So if you want to know the reason why I even made the video last week, it's because I genuinely like learning new things. And when I had heard that Mayor Lutfer Rahman destroyed a play place for children next to a school, I thought, holy shit, that's evil, right? That's some Batman villain-esque stuff. He's got to have some reason, right? Like, what would his logic be for that? What was his reasoning? There must be some reasonings for why people don't like these besides, I just want to drive in this neighborhood. If he's so staunchly against these low traffic neighborhoods and he's so staunchly against children having a place to play outside, well, he must have some reasons. So I started doing some research. That initial catalyst of my video never made it in because the video just kept growing. But what I ended up finding was that every single reason that Lutfer gave, every single reason that anyone else really gives, doesn't actually have any data to back it up. In fact, I included a bit of the Navarra interview in my video last week, which was the most lowball interview I've ever seen, where he basically asks the mayor, like, oh, what's it like to be such a great guy? He asks one good question in the interview. At one point, Lutfer's like, oh yeah, the thing with low traffic neighborhoods, they're just pushing the traffic onto the bigger roads, and that's where the working class live. That's not very fair, which is a good point, if it were true. But then Navarra he just reaches out and says, do you have any data? You have any data to back this up?
Is there any data on that? I mean, that's interesting. If you're saying, because that sounds like a really compelling counter argument, if you're saying that people are still driving their cars, it's just the engine's turned on, they're not going anywhere. Is there any data on that? Because that's really...
I'm sure there is. I'm sorry if I can't quote to the data.
That's fine.
And then the response, I'm sure we could get it. Oh, you should. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure he can. What? It's been 3 years since that interview came out. Where's the data? Oh, the borough actually did get data that disproves the point, but they're still going to push through with taking them away anyway. Do you see what I mean? Every single argument that seems to be made where on the surface I go, oh, that's actually something really interesting. I want to look into that. Maybe that's a reason why these things are bad. Turns out to not be real. And I have such a thing against misinformation and people spreading things that just because they're like hiding behind a veil of, I'm selfish, I would like this thing, so I'm going to put fake information at you to try and get you on my side. If you have to use fake information to sway opinion, I'm sorry, you've lost.
Plus, if you think only affluent areas are benefiting from low traffic neighborhoods and that poorer areas are being left with more traffic, but your own studies do not clearly show that happening, then why is your solution to make every area worse instead of making every area better? Would it not be better to then also improve the design of the busier roads? It's like noticing one area of the city has less crime than another. So rather than reducing crime in the worst regions, you work on increasing crime in the safer ones. That's Lutfer logic for you. There's other comments here, like I said, all of them pretty much stem from the same exact inner core reason. I'd like to drive through your neighborhood, and I think I have a right to do that. This person, first comment is, I'm a delivery driver, and LTNs are an absolute nightmare. All right. I guess it's like if a cigarette company said, we are a cigarette company, and these restrictions placed on cigarettes are absolutely a nightmare. We do not like them. It's almost like you have a vested interest in keeping it the way it is. Just saying, if you want to make more money by driving through people's neighborhoods at the expense of everyone's lungs and everyone's ears from the loud noise of all the pollution and all of the cars going by, but sure. He goes on, roads are for people to get where they are going. They're not playgrounds. They are not seating areas. So I will correct you a little bit there because that is not what a road is for. You've got a hierarchy of motor vehicle infrastructure. You got highways, you got roads, and you got streets. Highways, that's just for motor vehicles pretty much. Very high speeds, not a lot of hazards or junctions. It's just for getting cars efficiently around. Then you got roads, which is an in-between, okay? In between the pedestrians and the actual residents and the neighborhoods and the people and the cars, okay? So it's a bit of a shared space. And then you go to streets, and streets are meant to prioritize people. Locals. And then the shared space is shared by motor vehicle traffic. That way no one dies. That way it's a bit of a safer place to be. That's in a properly designed place. So saying roads are for people to get where they're going, not really. Roads are actually for cars to get where they're going. I could say the thing about trains. You know, we do have trains. Trains are also for getting people to where they need to go. So I could say that about railway, right?
It's just not really a logical statement. We also have, if a driver causes an accident, you punish that driver, not the millions of innocent drivers that don't cause accidents. So the word accident is being used twice in the sentence in a very beautiful way. The word accident, what does it mean to you? Usually it means something is done by accident. It's not on purpose, couldn't help it. Upsettingly, the word accident is used when it comes to motor vehicle crashes, regardless of intent. And so let's just say you were distracted or you were drunk and you got in an accident, a bit more negligent, I'd say, but we still use the word accident. It's not really your fault though, if you were the best driver in the world and you still get in an accident, someone's just like, oh no, and you couldn't react in time. Hey, accidents happen. However, the word accident in this sentence is actually the two distinct definitions of the word at the same time. So we have, if a driver causes an accident, punish him, because he did the accident, so it's his fault. So therefore, the accident isn't on purpose. No, it's on purpose. He's a bad guy. We got to punish that one guy. Not the innocent drivers that don't cause accidents. So basically, he caused an accident, punish him, but good drivers don't cause accidents. Come on. Everyone causes accidents, whether they like it or not. It's not like, you want to, and you could be the best driver in the world, but accidents do happen. It's in the name. Also, I love the reframing of, what about innocent drivers? What about the innocent drivers? No. What about the innocent residents that you actually want to drive past and decrease their quality of life? What about all the innocent residents in that neighborhood that you do not have the right to just drive through because it makes you more money? The residents that don't want to have a decreased lifespan because of the pollution, don't want to have to deal with the noise of your noisy car, who don't want to have to deal with the risk of their life of their children going to school. No. Innocent drivers. Drivers that do not have any experience living in a low traffic neighborhood always like to view themselves as victims in this process, even though the fact is the way that a lot of societies are built right now are built with a priority for the car. And so when people have learned more about proper structuring of urban cities, they start realizing, oh, this is actually completely out of whack and we have way too much infrastructure for cars, which makes it so that everyone else's lives are worse. We should actually have this more of a balance. They're like, whoa, it's not fair to us. It actually is, because you get to have a shared benefit of the experience, depending on if it's in your neighborhood as well. But then they say roads are not shortcuts. They're different routes. Yes, it's not X, it's just Y. None of that actually makes any sense. It's just filler. And if you haven't watched my video on how to spot AI writing, well, there you go. This whole thing, the whole reason it's kind of like nonsense, it's just kind of like filler words and has that depth and superficiality of AI. Congratulations. That's why. If this isn't written by AI, well, that's bad news for this guy's brain. Then we have, the reason there's too many cars in London is because London is overpopulated. It's quite a non sequitur to end on. I mean, London does have like over 8 million people. I think it's near 9 million these days. But then wait a minute. I've been to Tokyo twice. It's got 4 times the population. It's like 40 million or something like that. That's crazy, right? But they're not overpopulated. I mean, the system seems to work. What in fact is overpopulation? I'd argue that it's when you have too many people for the infrastructure. So the number of people outgrow it. Well, that's what we're trying to do, isn't it? We're trying to improve the infrastructure so that it's not feeling overpopulated. Imagine if every single person drove a car in London. You just can't. There's not enough space. That's kind of the thing that upsets me the most. It's almost like these people have never done the thing you do as a kid, where you put the star shape to the star hole. There's lots of space for the circle in the circle hole, but I want to put my star hole. There can only be one fitting in, but why can't everyone do this? Come on, kids.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole.
One other comment here we have is, please bear with as I try and read this. This one's good. This isn't a good news. This is Ann Borough cutting of access to London for people further out. It's forcing traffic into surrounding boroughs so the higher earning people of Tower Hamlets don't have the same traffic every other Londoner has to put up with. No problems have been solved. They just been moved away from this particular neighborhood and made another street less safe. It's almost like if they didn't watch my video, maybe they did, they had 0% comprehension or critical thought about it, which is quite a shame, because all of these points were very much brought up. I was laughing, by the way, because saying the higher earning people of Tower Hamlets is quite a laugh if you actually have any knowledge of London. Tower Hamlets is the second poorest borough in the entire city. The poorest is Newham, right next door. So saying the higher earning people of Tower Hamlets, who are you comparing to? But also, we are cutting off access to people in outer boroughs and people outside the city who do not have the right to just drive their cars at everyone else's expense through the city. I don't understand why people have such a selfish feeling of righteousness that they deserve to be able to drive their polluting, loud vehicle through everyone else's neighborhood. And yet, when given the chance, even car enthusiasts love living in low traffic neighborhoods, that they usually call them by a different name. In fact, Not Just Bikes made an excellent video the other day in which he brought up this one little insight that blew my mind, because I never thought about it like that. In America, we have cul-de-sacs. They're kind of like the creme de la creme of a suburban life. Why? Well, you're not going to have much through traffic, right? The only reason a car is going to go into a cul-de-sac is if they live there. So the people that live in a cul-de-sac get to experience not being around cars. That's the joy. So they don't even realize they're actually seeking to not be around cars in car-infested wasteland. And that's fascinating to me. These people that live in the outer boroughs, why do they live there? They don't like the loudness of the city. You wanna know what makes cities loud? You and your car trying to drive through. That's just a fact. That's how it is. And so these types of comments really do just blow my mind, especially when we just have so much data presented in the video that shows that the traffic is not going elsewhere for the most part. It's either going down or pretty much staying stagnant, which shows that people are not choosing to drive other ways and causing more congestion, causing more emissions. They're just choosing not to drive because, just gonna reiterate, 71% of people in the borough of Tower Hamlets do not own a car. There's so many other methods of transport. People that are told basically, oh, it's more inconvenient to drive now are going, well, I mean, I could take one of the 430 different bus routes, right? Well, that's what's happening. No, the real reason is I want to drive in your neighborhood, and I think it's messed up that you guys don't want us to loudly go through your neighborhood and decrease your lifespans.
And wanting safer, quieter streets is not an unpopular opinion. It's just that this vocal minority prefer moaning to learning. Do you remember the Concorde jet? The Concorde was the fastest method of traveling from London to New York City. It took just under 3 hours, but the jet was so loud, this is what it sounded like for every family living under the flight path. So those rich enough to afford Concorde tickets shaved some time off their journey, and everyone else had to experience the insane level of noise pollution that came with it. Remind you of anything? No. I deserve the right to boom over your house. It's a modern city. Get used to it, pavos.
And then we have another comment here, only 2 more left. If you want your street to be a communal driveway, then the street should pay for it. Why are we paying for roads that we can't utilize? What I really like about this comment is they are so car-brained that they cannot possibly fathom a space that's not used for cars. They see this lovely third space with seating, with trees, with people enjoying their lives, right? Used by cyclists, used by pedestrians, used by mobility users, used by the community. And he says it's a communal driveway. I mean, if it were a driveway, I would probably agree with him, because that would pretty much just be a place where you park your car. You can only think in car infrastructure. It's really funny. Why are we paying for roads we can't utilize? Mate, I'm gonna be honest. Unless you're driving on every single road in your city every single day, you're paying for a lot of roads you don't utilize. But also, with this logic, you could say it like, what do you mean I can't drive in the royal parks of London? That's not fair. What do I gotta pay for these parks if I can't drive through? What do you mean I can't drive through this school? Why do I have to pay for this school if I can't drive through it? That's just messed up. It is the most illogical, insipid mindset of someone that is just parroting things that make them uncomfortable. I don't like that my Johnny has to increase and I can't think logically about the reasons why this is being implemented. And rather than actually do any research, rather than consume the content they're actually leaving a comment on, they just spout the nonsense that makes them feel like their worldview has been justified, even if it is not backed up by anything. And I've got one final comment I want to read that I believe is referring to this channel as propaganda now, which is news to me. But before I do, I want to take a quick second to thank today's video sponsor. I would love it if my email inbox was a low traffic neighborhood, but thankfully these days it kind of is, because I use today's video sponsor, Incogni. The thing is, the longer you're on the internet, the more these shady little websites will collect your data, they'll sell it, they'll trade it, and then oops, it gets leaked in the darknet, and then you get all these spammers that are sending you emails, they call your phone, they text you trying to get you to give them money. No more! Incogni finds where all of your personal information is and gets rid of it for you. You can send these emails yourself to each one of these data broker websites, but God, is that time consuming. Look how many times they've had to do this for my data. Everyone just wants private data these days, but thankfully mine is off limits because I've used Incogni for over 3 or 4 years now. And if you want, Incogni actually have an offer on at the moment. You can get 10% off if you use my link right here. Incogni.com/Evan Edinger. And hey, take back control of your personal data. You might as well give it a shot. I think they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So thank you very much to Incogni for sponsoring. Be sure to click that link in the description. Without further ado, let's find out more about Evan's propaganda channel. For the final comment here, I actually was going to respond to it, but I don't feel like I have to. It used to be a good channel. I guess that's me. But now this eco, car-free propaganda has started. It's sad. And my editor Kim actually shared a comment underneath of it, so I thought it was so astute, I figured that's enough. Sharing statistics and referencing research that supports a particular idea isn't propaganda, especially when that data is used as a rebuttal to specific counter-arguments that are raised in the video. Policies aimed at reducing car traffic are going to keep cropping up, and those of us who support them are going to keep winning. Because again and again, the research proves that when these plans are implemented, the majority of people are happier, they live more active, healthy lives, and everyone, including those who oppose it, benefits from the reduced crime rates and healthier air. Majority rules, and you are outnumbered. Sorry that you can't force the rest of society to adhere to your specific wishes, but you live in a democracy, so you're just gonna have to get over it. X, I think that was kind of a perfect way to end, because at the end of the day, no matter how much I read and researched trying to find a valid argument against low traffic neighborhoods and safer streets, the honest truth is there isn't any, except I'm selfish and I want to drive through your neighborhood anyway. So if anyone has any genuine arguments that you can bring to me that you have any sort of backed up science for, I think the case is really closed here. It's a really fascinating thing on the internet when you learn things and find out that even though all the information is available at your fingertips, some people will still just proudly shout opinions that aren't based on facts, logic, or data at all, but just on the vibes. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you back on my YouTube channel next Sunday. Goodbye. That's me. Yeah, just filming a video about this.
It's a nice area, isn't it?
Well, for now, the mayor's hoping to destroy it.
What's he gonna do?
Allow cars to drive past again.
Again? Oh no.
Yeah, sadly.
Are you to do with Ted?
I don't know what that means, so no. Oh, and what's this? Is it another Mercedes-Benz? Oh, I can't believe it. Look at all of the working class people that want to drive their Mercedes-Benzes around. It's literally the third one.
Don't drive no more. How do I get around? Bloody walking. Come on, what do you think? Unbust.
The question stops being, are low traffic neighborhoods a good idea? And starts being, well, who actually gets to decide? The borough mayor? The locals? Or this guy who decides he doesn't know how to drive? That's really funny. This is actually one of the low traffic neighborhoods. And this guy's got a tiny little pee-pee. I need to just bring water with me. I'm parched.